Hello, folks.
Hello!
Hello!
Hello, gang!
Folks.
Welcome to the Ivan Pod.
Yes, look at you. We are here.
These are actually kind of groovy.
Can you see through walls
What?
with those?
These are cool, Dad.
Yeah, looks cool.
Are they sexy?
Are they like UV rated?
UV. They be UV. These are the UV.
Yeah.
Woo. Boy, now it's back to reality. I look better through those.
These serve a double purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They're good for shades, in the sun outside. They're also good for covering this. So when brightness is
Oh, Lord in heaven.
Oh, doubling
Can
up.
they see through fabric?
yeah.
What every man wants to know.
People are asking.
People are asking.
Hey, look at that.
There you go.
Doubled up.
And then there's, I think Apple has a little thing that they turn and get see girls.
Woo! You naughty, naughty boy.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it's an idea.
Well-
Call it the Apple Happy glasses.
The Apple Happy.
Yeah.
Introducing the Apple Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We may have just discovered something.
Yeah.
Seen through walls?
Let's see. We were going to talk about Epoch.
Yes.
Epoch.
Uh-huh. And you guys probably know what epoch means, but epoch is the time, actually, between changes. Now, like, a certain epoch with dinosaurs, there's a change in the earth formation and in geology that would indicate that something happened, something really bad happened.
How many are there so far
What?
in our time? How many epochs? Is that how you say it, or epoch?
No, we're
Epoch.
more of an epoch. But we're ERA, which era.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about some, like, people, for instance, say in the 20s, that was kind of an era
Mm-hmm.
that we were going through. I wasn't, but, people who were alive were going through. So, and we have some of that sort of stuff. So, era had a long list of things it could be used for, yeah.
What would the first epoch be? Epoch.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I can't remember.
Epoch?
I can't remember what the very first one was.
The first one would be, that had animal life in it, would be, that have,
Yeah, one of them was like the Cretaceous.
yeah.
I guess I don't understand it very well, so
The
I feel
trilobite.
uneducated as hell right now.
The trilobites and
Yes.
things like that they uncovered, very so-called primitive animals.
Tribbles?
Huh?
Tribbles?
No.
The tribbles? Were the tribbles part of an epoch? Do you know what the tribbles
Yes, Star Trek.
Well, the damn tribbles keep eating all wheat and that thing. We
Yeah.
can't get anything in there,
are? I know.
Those triples.
Yeah, no trouble at all.
No trouble at all. A
No
tribble.
trouble
A
at
tribble
all.
is no trouble at all.
No trouble at all.
Tribble, you
I
say?
Yeah, I used to. Yeah.
I think we're on like the 9th or 10th.
Huh?
Aren't we on like the 9th or 10th epoch? I mean, these are millions and millions, hundreds
Oh,
of millions
yeah.
of years long.
Epic is millions of years.
Yeah.
It's not like era would be
And you were saying the Pyrocene last week could be
the Pleistocene.
the what?
Oh, the Pyrocene is what? No, it's not, but it is. It is, but it isn't. It is. We could think of it that way, but it's not.
Not long enough.
Not long enough. If it goes on for umpteen more years, then that would be something that would be different than the earlier and the later would be, and that's all I know about it. Not very much, but the epoch. You know, you look in the books, the zoology books, and then they show all these different animals that have a connection with the ones before them, and it's a basic thing for med students to take because it indicates that I don't know, indicates something. It's,
It indicates, like us coming from apes.
yeah, I suppose.
But how does that affect Christianity? You see what I mean? If you were to say
Oh,
that, you know, though Christianity would be very challenged by that. They don't believe that,
well,
right? Am I right
They're
on that?
creationism, right? They believe in.
Very fundamental would be 2,000 or
I've lost my mind.
4,000
What is
years
that word?
ago. 2,000
When you
years
believe in-
ago
No.
for all those speakers and something. Only 2,000.
I have
years
lost
ago.
my mind. What is the word that we come from apes?
Evolution.
Thank you, for the love of God. Evolution. So
Not for the love of
no,
God.
not for the love of God. God. But so
So you're saying that Christians don't believe in evolution?
Oh,
I think that a fair majority of them are beginning to.
well, you know, there's all kinds of ways to look at evolution. Basically, the evolutionists say there's one way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
That evolution is, in fact, a fact, and not a theory or a hypothesis or maybe it's a fact. And they get kind of upset a little bit, or I don't know if upset's the word, kind of brushed about, but about somebody expressing something different.
Yeah, but if we evolved from apes, why are there still apes?
Yeah, what?
If we evolved from apes, why are there still apes?
Yeah.
Shelby, would you like to partake in that?
I'm good.
What you think?
Because essentially, like the thought, like the philosophy behind evolution is that it's very small changes over time, right? So essentially, there are mutations, and from those mutations, you are then able to just slightly change after generation over generation. So there would still be apes because that initial ape would not have changed from its original form.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Therefore, as the mutations continue to evolve,
Mark,
you get humanity.
he went to Washington State University.
Clearly.
You've been reading.
Well, not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. But I mean that's why you could have apes and humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, essentially, the problem that I always have with Christianity and evolution and them being at odds is eventually it comes down to the individual's belief, right? You either believe there is a higher power that created everything in one fell snap, or you believe in evolution, or you believe it's a mixture of the two. At the end of the day, those arguments come back to, well, I believe this, and I
Right.
believe this, and that's the end of the conversation, it feels like, right?
Not necessarily, but
No.
yeah, that sounds good.
Well, I mean, you have to be able to prove undeniably one way or the other for that to be a moot point, though, right?
Well, no, the Christians proves it's right there in the Bible. It's written right there like that. So that's a proof, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you can't verify the Bible, though. You can't verify the stories
Sure
in the
I can.
Bible.
They're sitting right there, right
Oh,
in my
that's a
hand,
good
just
point.
like
You
that.
cannot
Yeah.
verify.
But
Ooh,
you
we
can't
talking about
verify-
some
I mean-
hot topics now.
I mean, like, I could write down Shelby is the greatest bid spotter ever to be created.
Whoa,
and
whoa,
then-
whoa! We just proved that before he is an auctioneer, that he is not the greatest bid spotter. That had me hot.
Speaking of hot topics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Topic.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
you're right. It's whatever somebody
Yeah.
believes.
You're absolutely
And
right.
most of the time, you know,
The
You're not going to be able to convince them otherwise.
Hell,
All right, look at the flat earthers going around.
Oh my
right
gosh,
now.
right?
That's
Yeah.
coming back.
That is coming
evolution.
back. Flat earthers is a whole movement right now.
What?
Flat earthers.
People believe that the earth is flat.
Well, isn't it?
Not to my knowledge, not to my understanding.
Well, when you look out there, does it look flat to you? Or does it kind of look like it maybe kind of curves on the end there?
Yeah, that one.
That one, yeah.
So the thing that like ended it for me is that if there is an event horizon, like in other words, if you can look off into the distance and see this is where the land ends and this is where the sky begins, then that proves that we are on a spherical object.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
otherwise, the event horizon would just disappear into nothingness.
Yeah.
Like you
God
would
dang,
never see
Shelby,
the
Yeah,
you're
end.
you'd
smart.
fall
You're
off
so
the
smart.
edge,
You're
right?
right,
Yeah.
though.
A flat earther could prove it if they just started walking
Mm-hmm.
and kept walking
Yeah.
until they got to the end.
Doesn't
None
that
of them
mean
have done that.
None of them can.
No, they can't.
They don't have flippers. You know, they got to get across the ocean.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they can come across the where the early Aleuts did from
Alaska?
come to Alaska from
Russia.
Russia. Yeah, what the heck do you call that?
Oh, is that the
The
Bering Strait?
To the you know whatever that is. They send people to that they need.
Siberia?
Siberia. That's right. That's the one. That's the law. But that bridge is no longer there. It's sunk, and it could reemerge if the well, I don't know if the oceans went down or the Earth. You know, the Earth changes when it wants to. We don't have much to do with it.
Yeah.
Except the thing is, we keep trying to do something with it, and the things we try to do with it may not be the best for it. But you know, we've got to pay attention to that sort of thing. Yeah. But evolution is a hypothesis. It's not a theory. And as far as I know, it's not a fact. Now, a lot of scientists will say, hey, you're nuts, man. That is a fact. But it isn't. It's still a hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, the special creation, is, if you call it that, and that they were trying all kinds of names like special creation, and maybe there was force and all of that stuff. But to read it from the Jewish point of view is Bible and what is said in the Bible. But you know, I've been talking about a different translation a little bit that we need to grok. Do you guys know what grok means?
Guac?
Grok.
Cost
It's-
extra.
Every young man and woman ought to know what a grok is.
It's green, and you cut it up and add cilantro, and you put in a little paste pecani sauce. It makes it fantastic. Some people put onion and garlic, and you whip it up, and it is eaten on a chip.
Yeah. And then it jumps out of the cage, you know.
Yeah. I have no idea what a grok is.
Okay. In a Stranger in a Strange Land, the author of that introduced a word. It was called grokking, and I believe that's correct. A grok. And a grok means, you know what it means to absorb fully.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what grok means.
Oh,
Only more so.
absorb on a chip.
Well, if you
Absorb.
figure on a chip these days,
Yeah.
it makes some sense.
I've absorbed a few chips in my
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the evolution is still In the science world, it's not an open question, it's a closed question. But in the religious world, whether, when, and what is still kind of open to discussion, even though they would often say, no, that's not true either. So, like you say, people are still trying to.
We may never
trying
know the answer
figure
to it.
Huh?
Only the aliens know the answer to it.
Well,
Probably
and
never know.
that's a whole other subject. Aliens. Do you think that could be?
That there exist?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like Ezekiel saw the wheel
Mhm.
way up in the middle of the air.
That's a song. Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel.
Yeah, just think about how, if you think about aliens and the formation of all life on Earth, it could have been just as simple as introducing DNA to this planet.
hmm
Because literally every living thing on this planet has DNA in it. Us, grass, trees,
Right.
leaves.
Well, how
Everything.
would you get it there?
Right. How would you get it there?
Yeah.
Float it down on your ship.
Somebody has to come by. Somebody.
Something.
Some thinking thing has to come deliver it to probably some existing animal, or they might have the animal and they're going to put the animal on the earth and say, there. Oh,
Speaking
There
of,
you go.
and speaking of crazy thinking things, the way I would like to interject a question to this podcast to end it today, and see how you guys feel about it. Are you ready?
Feel like I'm being set up, but go ahead.
yeah.
Thought about this all
For
day.
sure we've been set up.
Now we're going to use Shelby as an example
Oh, jeez.
because I love him so
Well,
darn
he's on a
much.
roll today. So
I'm
He
on a roll,
is.
yeah,
He's on a
for
roll.
sure.
He loves
Yeah.
me. I love him. We all love each other. Kumbaya.
So much love.
So if your daughters are not behaving themselves,
Okay.
now be serious about this. Who is the leader of your home? I know you're going to say Kayla.
I
but
am.
Yeah, you are.
Duh.
You are the leader of the home, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you tell one of your daughters, no, I don't want you to do that, and that daughter still does it, what do you do to that daughter? Do you try to correct her by giving her some sort of correction? Like, if you do that again, you're going into the corner, or if you're going into timeout. Is that
Okay.
accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole different kind of
So-
discussion.
Said
Yeah.
daughter says, okay, well, that was fun. I'm going to do it again. All I got to do is go into timeout. So she does it again. Do you put her in timeout again?
No.
You try a different thing because she's young and she's not got her brain working right yet, right?
Okay.
Am I right on that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she continues to do it. What then do you do? Do you give her a harsh punishment? Like, I'm taking away
Yeah.
food for a month.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that ought to teach her.
No.
No, but you know what I'm saying? But then you give her a harsh punishment.
Okay. We wouldn't take food from our daughters. but
No,
yeah, okay.
no, absolutely not. It was a joke, people.
Very funny.
So in essence, what you're saying is that, so you're the leader, so you're the judge of that house.
Okay.
So what you're saying is Donald Trump is acting like a 2-year-old.
How did we get here?
We just got political.
I
there.
feel like that was a jump. You know what I mean? Like the sky's blue. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, forget the rainbow.
Because he has been put into timeout how many times? And the judge is now having to say, we can get a little political here, Dad. Not a lot, but just a little. The judge is now having to say, hey, timeout isn't working. Taking your iPad away isn't working.
Taking your money's not working.
Taking your money's not working. The forms of discipline are not working on you. So I'm going to have to impose a harsh form of discipline. What do you do if your child still does not comply after that form of discipline?
But in this example, you're assuming that Donald Trump is the 2-year-old, when in fact he is the adult in control of the situation. Everybody else are just 2-year-olds in the sandbox.
Through his vision. through his vision, right?
Yeah.
Good point.
Absolutely.
Good note taken.
That's it.
I have no idea what's going on politically.
Yeah.
Like I am under a rock.
Okay.
I know that there's a ceasefire, and that ceasefire did not work. That
Right.
is about all I know in regard to world news.
Well,
Yeah.
not
It
just to
didn't
give a
work?
quickie, but
Yeah, the Hamas didn't.
no, they went
adhere
and
to the
bombed last night.
ceasefire.
Yeah.
It never works.
It
in
never works.
Palestine.
It said
How
we're-
many times have they tried
They were
that?
like, we're doing a ceasefire, and then it was
Never
like, yeah, it was like the next
worked.
night, right?
Yeah.
They-
Netanyahu
last night.
was absolutely correct. It's never going to be peaceful there till one of them owns the whole thing.
Yeah,
again.
and that's been going on for thousands of years.
Yeah. Well, that's true. It's true.
Thousands of years.
In regards to DT, I know he was in court. He's still in court.
He keeps
obviously.
getting slapped with these $1,000 fines to gag order. He keeps breaking the gag order, and he keeps going out and doing it. The judges had to say, listen, I know you're the former president. I don't want to do this. Quite possibly the next president. I don't want to do this, but I will put you in jail if you break this gag order again. So he will break the gag order again,
And then put him in jail.
and they'll put him in jail. But will he get out of jail? Immediately.
He will immediately.
So there is no punishment there.
Well,
So I was just putting that little 2-year-old concept in because I feel like this is very stupid. It's like telling you were 20 minutes late today, so I need $1. Okay, here's $40. I'm going to be late for the next 40 days. Right? It's the same
Yeah.
theory.
All right, but there's a flaw.
See, I wanted to
in
get him
your-
going because he likes to talk about it.
There's a flaw in your endpoint.
Uh-huh.
A
What would that be, sir?
child that has that much difficulty, you want to take them to see somebody that can evaluate them.
So what you're saying is Donald Trump needs to be evaluated.
I think if he hasn't, I'd be surprised.
That's a great
You know,
idea.
they even advertise, they even evaluate history,
Mm-hmm.
and they get things from that. But you know,
These views
a
are not the
child-
views of all people sitting here at this table.
And you could,
There we go.
and you can put a child in timeout many times until they get the idea. Then they, you know, if you have that much time, but you don't have that much time. That's just part of the
So this is an
trouble.
unsolvable situation.
Yeah.
It's a good point. There's not enough time.
There's
You
not
know,
enough
they're
time.
18 years
Yeah.
old and they're out of the house.
The American
Now they're responsible for
situation.
themselves.
What'd you do for the first 18 years? I sat in the corner.
Yeah, sat in the corner. No.
And then you come out of that corner and you're like a murderer. you have no social skills.
You have no social skills. Again!
Again.
Point in case! Case in point. Whatever, I can't talk. Anyway, I'm not trying to make it political. Or am
So,
I?
you know, it's in the front part of that 2000 film. Bone.
Oh, with bones? Yeah.
Well, yeah, whacking on the other ape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we need to apparently go back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Evolution does not have anything to do with apes, except it's the same trunk line, way back when that humans start. They don't come off of apes. According to evolutionary theory, they have their own trunk line. You know that there's something going on there. Well, some people say, you know, little Lucy was
Yeah,
there.
little Lucy.
And she was only like, you know, that tall or so. And so it's the more information they gather, the harder it will be to circumvent that. In other words, the mystical writers will have to somehow figure that out and include it. Wouldn't you like to see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that.
if they could, huh?
Yeah.
If they could, switch in your
And
mind.
like we've said a million times, things are written by the people that want the rest of the world to follow what they're believing in,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's true. And like there's a book out there called A Case for Christ. It's an interesting book, but you know our culture has him depicted as a 6'2" beautiful white man with dark hair that wore a white, just gorgeous. The simple truth of the matter is there is some statistics that say he was about 4'7". He had a bad back, a curved back. No kidding. And he was walked in a land that his skin would be dark.
Uh-huh. So, and that's
Palestine.
difficult to explain why exactly the black people have black skins and brown people have brown skins. That's less troublesome, but the black skin is how do you see that? It's a mutation that came that way, but why did that stick? There's a thing. But the story in the Bible is well, there were Ham, Shem, Japheth. That's probably not right. Anyway, there was one of them was of the tribe that went in a different direction than the Judah tribe or the other one that was there. Anyway, so that's.
Interesting.
Well, it's interesting to see who the hell we are, or who we are. We don't want to
Or
know
what we are.
Who the hell we are. We'll stay out of that mess, Huh,
Yeah.
Shelby?
That's right. Yeah, no,
stay
I
out
don't
of
know
that
who we
mess.
are.
Yeah.
I don't even know which way's up half the time.
You
Yeah.
want to at least go to the third heaven
Yeah.
and take a right turn.
Third heaven, take a right. Third heaven, take a
Yeah,
right.
go on, take a left. Yeah.
So that's something I'd like you to dig in deeper to at the next podcast is the ethers.
It's a what?
The ethers.
Okay.
Yep. So let's talk about that at your next podcast.
That's physics.
Okay. Well, let's do that.
Talk about it. Sure.
So next time on this podcast, The Ivan Files, we will talk about the ethers, and I will try to find more information to make everybody uncomfortable.
Please don't.
No, well, you got a good perspective.
Awkward turtle. On what?
Huh?
Huh?
Are those your glasses, or are they happy to see us?
The answer is yes to both accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have, it seems to me that you have sort of maybe this, maybe that.
Yeah. I have problems making decisions. It's true.
It's
No, that's not what he's saying.
All right.
Anyway, we gotta go. See you guys. Say
not-
bye. Tip your hat.
problem making decisions about that particular thing. Maybe not nothing else. A whole hell of a lot of people have trouble with that. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, tip your hat.
See ya.
Good job, Dad.